And for the first time in a week, we say hello once again from Shirley Povich Field. It's time for Big Train Baseball. After 4 games postponed due to rain and a day off, the Big Train are back and they turn the ball over to their ace, Patrick Galley, to try and pick up another win against the Gaithersburg Giants. Alongside Adam Glover, I'm Eli Kleinman in what is breakfast with the Big Train and baseball before brunch from Shirley Povich Field on this beautiful, gorgeous Sunday afternoon. The rain has come through all week, and now we have sunshine as we get set for action. Let's take a look at the Gaithersburg lineup, laid out to you by their manager, TJ Brockaway. Giants are 5-9 on the season. Their worst start since 2015, the only year the team has ever missed the postseason. And they will face the right-hander on the mound in Patrick Galley. .84 ERA in 3 starts, has gone 10 2/3 innings with 14 strikeouts, 8 hits, and only 3 walks allowed. So as we get set, Adam, for baseball, the third time these teams are meeting, they will play 2 games today with the doubleheader on tap for 1:30. That's a rough estimate. We'll see when that game actually gets started. And I ask you this, Adam. 26-0 was the final score for the Big Train in the first game. In the second game, 3-2 with the Big Train pulling out a victory, but a game that got delayed by lightning. How much do you read into that second game with how long it lasted, ending just after midnight?
I don't read into it a lot because in addition to that, we talked about it a lot. This was a team that was on a streak of 11 straight games, and we're in the middle of a long homestand. So this is a team that pitching-wise was kind of taxed a little bit, so I think the pitching will be better. I wouldn't worry too much about that close game.
First pitch home, and Josh Wilson fouls it off to the third base side. No balls and a strike. We're underway, 10:03 a.m. on the East Coast. Just 3 minutes late for some morning baseball. 0-1. High fastball, and Clay Wargo, the catcher, has to reach high to haul it in. A ball and a strike. Wilson hitting .310 on the early part of this season. 3-game hit streak he brings into today. Is the 1-1 fastball up and in, 2 balls and a strike. Hasn't played since Monday, however. Last time these teams squared off right here at Shirley Povich Field. On a 2-1. High fastball again, 3 balls and a strike. And Adam, how much do you think rust plays a role in the pitching this morning?
I think it plays a little bit of a role. We've had, 4 straight cancellations, 5 days off.
As the 3-1 lifted high in the air to left center field. Back goes the left fielder, or it takes a hop off the warning track and bounces off the scoreboard. The cutoff throw comes in, but at second with a double is Josh Wilson, and he leads off the game with a sweet swing of the bat.
Wilson got himself into a favorable count at 3-1. Not too many times this year we've seen Patrick Galley kind of fall behind guys. So got that 3-1 fastball, and Wilson has been one of the better hitters on this Gaithersburg team so far this season. He's not going to miss a pitch like that, and already the Giants making some noise.
A really competitive game on Monday that the Big Train had to pull out late. Giants trying to strike first here this morning. As Galley steps off, works from the stretch. Big Train in the green uniforms with Big Train written across the chest, white pants. It's the first pitch home to Mendez outside with a fastball, a ball and no strikes. The green caps. Giants wearing the navy blue uniforms with light blue sleeves, gray pants, and light blue Gaithersburg across their chest. 1-0. High fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It has been an incredible start to the season for Patrick Galley. Just 1 earned run allowed And coming off his best start, albeit 10 days ago. 2-0. Another fastball well outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And the command has not been there for Galley so far.
Yeah, complete opposite of that start in Alexandria. He looked incredible against a really tough Aces team. Went out there and gave him 4 really solid innings.
It's the 3-0, well upstairs and outside, ball 4. Wilfredo Mendez Jr. draws the walk, and there's 2 on and nobody out in the top of the first. So it brings up the 3-hole hitter, Bennett Sheeler, and Craig Lopez, the pitching coach for the Big Train, marches to the mound. Try and talk to his young right-hander.
Yeah, like you said, the command just not there right now, and this is just get out there, a little cautionary, just making sure he's okay, making sure that, trying to figure out what's not going right for him. A little unusual that we see Galley especially miss with that fastball so outside, and falling behind 2 hitters and 2 base runners now. But they need Galley to give him some good length today because, like you said, rust plays a bit of a factor, and that goes for everybody on this Big Train team.
Big Train with 2 games today, both 9 innings, and then 2 days off. The pitch home to Sheeler, a fastball high and upstairs. It's a ball and no strikes. Set at the belt, checks at the runner on second, 1-0. Fastball upstairs again, 2 balls and no strikes. 9 balls, only 2 strikes issued so far from Galley here in this first inning. On a 2-0. Swing and a foul back over the seats and out of play, out of the stadium. It's 2 balls and a strike. No clouds in the sky as it has already reached 84 degrees here at Shirley Povich Field. Just after 10 a.m. 2-1, Sheeler swings again and fouls it right back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sheeler, the George Mason product from Blacksburg, Virginia, where his mom played volleyball at Virginia Tech. Nobody out. 2-2. Swing and a miss. The fastball rings up Sheeler. And there's 1 away. In the top of the first, still runners at first and second, and no score.
Finally getting that fastball command back, rearing back and giving some good velocity there. Good to see him start to get a little more command of that pitch after the first 2 hitters. That fastball missing well outside.
So Garrett Runyon to the plate. One of a pair of Whitman products in the lineup today for the Giants. In the first pitch home, the fastball called a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Galley with an excellent fastball. Ranged up to 97 miles an hour in the fall. At Ole Miss. 0-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Quickly ahead, 0-2. That glove against his left shoulder as he gets the sign from the catcher, Wargo. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The fastball gets right by Runyon. Back-to-back strikeouts for Galley, and there's 2 away. And Alex Knapp comes to the plate with 2 down. What a start for Galley after allowing the 2 runners aboard. Has found his command again. The right-hander stands in. First pitch home. Fastball low and outside. A ball and no strikes. Looked like Josh Wilson, the runner at second, started to dance off the bag and decided better of trying to steal third on Clay Wargo, an excellent defensive catcher. 1-0. Fastball high and tight. Watch out. 2 balls, no strikes. On a 2-0. Knapp chops one foul down the third base line. 2 balls and a strike the count with the runners at first and second and 2 down.
I love that Patrick continues to work that fastball even when he falls behind, and he's had some issues with it early on. Still has confidence in that pitch, and he wants to utilize it, doesn't want to abandon it this early in the game.
Knapp looking to get his offensive success going this summer. 2-1. That fastball pinpoints the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Knapp 0 for 6 in the 2 games against the Big Train so far. Galley 1 strike away from getting out of the top of the first unscathed. 2-2. Fastball just outside, and the count runs full with 2 away, and the runners will be off.
Yeah, that was a great frame job behind the plate by Clay Wargo. That pitch did miss, but for Clay to bring that one back, make it a lot closer, make it a tougher call for the home plate umpire.
So here's the 3-2. Runners go, swing and a miss. He strikes out the side, inning over. Patrick Galley wrestles off the rust and sends us to the bottom of the first. No score as the Big Train come to bat. To the bottom of the first, no score between the Big Train and the Giants. And let's take a look at the Big Train lineup. Brought to you by Sal Colangelo. It looks quite similar to what it's been all season. Dixon Williams leads things off. Gets things started. Lefty on lefty matchup as he faces Mateus Conaway. Left-hander from Whitman. No score, bottom of the first. Pitch in to Williams outside with the fastball. Ball and no strikes. Conaway making his 3rd start of the summer, as is 1-0 well outside. 2 balls, no strikes. The fastball nowhere close to the zone. Been a solid start to the summer for Conaway. Just 7 innings pitched in his 2 starts, but a 1.28 ERA. 2-0. And Williams fists one into shallow center. Racing in is Mendez, and the center fielder on the run makes the catch as he reaches down below the belt. to scoop it up just before it lands in the grass for out number one. So with one away, Connor Rasmussen to the plate. Newest member of the Tulane Green Wave, transfer from East Carolina. Another lefty at the plate, and the first pitch from the lefty, Conaway. Zips onto the outside corner for a strike, nothing in one. Perfect location for that fastball.
You're going to see a slider from him, not a curveball, so he'll use it against these left-handed hitters.
0-1, little looper, left side, back goes the shortstop, Wilson, and he climbs the ladder to make the catch in shallow left center for out number two. Couple excellent defensive plays by the Giants to get things started. Quickly 2 down. And Jacob Orr to the plate with 2 away, and the first pitch fastball down below the knees, a ball and no strikes. Orr hitless in his last 4 games. Looking to heat the bat back up as he takes fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Conaway works quickly. Tua. Or a line drive into left field, a base hit. And after a week off, he's back into the hit column with a 2-out single and the first hit of the day for the Big Train.
Yeah, this is a Big Train lineup that has a lot of lefties in it. So they're going to have some trouble with this left-handed pitcher, but it's good to see that one of the few righties in Orr is able to make good contact early on and get on base.
Big Train hitting just .257 against lefties compared to .293 against right-handers. There's another lefty. Cunningham steps to the plate and takes the first pitch outside. Not close with the fastball. Ball and no strikes. Cunningham, the hottest hitter in this Big Train lineup. 1-0. Swings and lines one foul the other way. Down the third base line. A ball and a strike. It's been 7 days since he last had a plate appearance because of the rain and the 5 days off. But 3 for 3 against the Giants on Monday. 1-1. Swings and lines went back to the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Game that was a sign of what was to come with the rain and the lightning delay on Monday. Game that did not end till the wee hours of Tuesday morning. 1-2. Slider upstairs. There goes Orr for second, and he slides in safely. The throw from Sheeler not in time. Almost a delayed steal. Orr took off late. Sheeler not ready for it. And a stolen base for Orr, his first of the summer. Two. Cunningham rolls it softly down the first base line. And the count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cunningham getting time in center field today. 2-2. Takes the slider in the dirt. Just holds up that swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Light breeze blows the trees out beyond the outfield fence. As the birds chirp this early morning game. 3-2. Fastball well upstairs, ball 4, and Cunningham draws a walk. It's runners at first and second with 2 down for Jeffrey Hurd. No score, bottom of the first. Orr at second, Cunningham at first with 2 down. And the Big Train looking to strike first. Hurd trying to heat back up after an electric start to his summer. First pitch home, and the slider stays way upstairs, almost above the helmet of Hurd. A ball and no strikes.
Tell you what, for a 10 a.m. game, we got a pretty nice crowd here.
Fans have showed up, filling most of the grandstands from the first base line to the third base line. 1-0. Hurd holds up on a fastball in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Grandparents stay at the ballpark, and we play 2 today. Conaway in a bit of trouble. 2-0. Skips a fastball in. 3 balls and no strikes. Teddy Ruffner, second right-hander in this lineup, stands on deck. Big Train trying to take down the Giants for the 8th consecutive time, dating back to last season. 3-0. Hurd watches a fastball find the heart of the zone. Count 3 balls and a strike with 2 away.
Conaway's command's not there right now. I agree with Hurd taking that 3-0 pitch. Got a lot of power in the bat, but had a chance to walk and load him up.
3-1. And he takes outside. Fastball with some cutter-like movement. Spins its way outside, and Hurd draws a walk. Back-to-back walks. Loads the bases for the Big Train with 2 down for Teddy Ruffner.
Now you got a real good opportunity with another righty coming up here. Ruffner has been a solid piece to this Big Train team early on. Good run producer. And all it takes is a little flair, and you at least have 1, if not 2.
Conaway works from the windup. Deals to Teddy. Slider in the dirt. Scoots away. Stays close enough to Sheeler as it trickles down the third base line. A ball and no strikes. Ruffner ran out of the box, thinking maybe Orr would try and come home. And got a few laughs from his own dugout. Ball and no strikes. The 1-0. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Even at 1-1. Ruffner, excellent plate vision over the last 5 games. 7 walks, including a pair of 2-walk games. 1-1. Swings and rolls one softly to the left side. The third baseman, Lacefield, gloves and flips to second where Steen covers for the out, and the inning is over. Big Train load the bases, but leave them stranded. Onto the second, no score. Top of the second, Noah Lieb to lead things off. The first baseman from Denison. No score as Gallet works back to the mound in the first pitch home. And Dennis Lieb fouls one off the other way. No balls and a strike.
Really impressive for Patrick Galley to come back after those two base runners last inning.
Swing and a miss at a curveball in the dirt. Ball that just dropped from the sky. Already with 3 strikeouts. 0-2, soft grounder to the right side. The second baseman Dixon Williams comes in and throws on the run for out number 1.
From New Egypt, New Jersey, the second baseman, number 29, Randy Steen.
And there's the defense for the big train. As Randy Steen comes to the plate. Had the day off last night. First pitch home. Lines one down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Still holding the bat. He returns back to the plate. No balls and a strike.
Got a few changes for that defense from what we usually see. Carter Cunningham, we saw defensively come in and play some center field on Monday. Gets his first start out there. Also seeing Hurd over in right. Schiavone getting some time again at first.
0-1. Swing and a miss at the slider. 0-2. Imagine trying to let coaches potentially see guys in different spots. Summer baseball is the perfect time to try new things. Stakes are a little bit lower. 0-2. A slider, and it's lifted down the left field line. This time it's a fair ball, and it rolls into the corner. Around first and into second goes Steen. And he has a 1-out double, second double of the day for the Giants. And a little lazy looper drops in. And the Giants in business in the top of the second.
Yeah, just off the, having to reach out, kind of just lifting it off the end of the bat, but able to still get enough of it to where you can lift it to left and not push it to the right side. And, it might have been weak contact, but he'll take a double any day.
As Marcelo steps to the plate and takes a fastball up and in, a ball and no strikes. Marcelo, one of the few guys in this lineup who played last night and had his first multi-hit game of the summer. 1-0, runner on the move, swing and a miss, throw down to third, the ball's there in time, the tag's applied, and Steen is caught stealing. Another runner thrown out by Clay Wargo, and the Sheriff still runs this town at Shirley Povich Field. There's 2 away. Count a ball and a strike to Andrew Marcelo. 1-1. Inside with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Wargo, when it comes to throwing out base runners and keeping everyone on check in the bases, it's been night and day compared to some of the other catchers on this team.
It's the 2-1 slider. Zings into the outside corner.
Yeah,
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Got a cannon of an arm, plays some really good defense back there, something that I think gets a little overlooked sometimes when you think about, the best defensive positions.
2-2, soft roller to the left side. The shortstop Rasmussen fields on the backhand, throws across his body to first, not in time. Andrew Marcelo beats it out by perhaps half a step. And he has an infield single to reach with 2 down.
A good stretch over there by Schiavone, too. Real close. And Schiavone really helped that play out by extending that left leg way out there, keeping the right foot on the bag, but just not in time.
So Jesse Lacefield to the plate with a runner at first and 2 down, and he takes one well above the shoulders. It's a ball and no strikes on a high fastball from Galley. Small lead for Marcelo. Just his 4th hit of the summer. 1-0. Lacefield dribbles one foul over towards the Giants' dugout on the first base side. Ball and a strike. Gorgeous day for baseball. Storms have come and gone. in the DC area. 1-1. Outside with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Galley gives a look over to the runner at first. 2-1 home. Well up and away with a fastball. 3 balls and a strike.
Opportunity. Go ahead. I was going to say opportunity here for Lacefield to try to turn on a fastball.
3-1. Takes outside ball 4. Second walk issued by Galley today. Puts runners at first and second with 2 down. In the top of the second, no score.
Galley just, the command not there right now for him. We've seen multiple walks now, 3 hits, a couple of extra base hits. He's been able to get out of trouble so far, but you wonder if he's going to be able to do it again here with a really good hitter in Wilson, who already showed off the pop in his bat earlier in this game, due up.
First pitch is down in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. Wilson hit .373 for Frederick Community College this past spring. Showed the pop you just mentioned, 9 home runs. One-0. Takes inside on a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Had 28 extra base hits and just 62 hits for the shortstop. 2-0. Another pitch inside, and Wilson dances out of the way. 3 balls and no strikes. Is this command issue for Galley part of the rust for not pitching in the last 10 days?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we've seen him pitch, 3 starts before this already?
As that's ball 4 outside. And the bases are loaded after back-to-back walks.
Again, we've seen him pitch quite a bit this year. You know, he was the opening day starter. He's a big part of this rotation. It's just, 10 days off is an abnormally large amount of time, especially for anybody, really, whether it's professional like majors, minors, college, anything like that. So, it might be a kind of a bullpen day for the big train potentially. Patrick hasn't gone extremely long distances this year in general. Nobody really has for the big train. 5 has kind of been the cap for most of these guys, but with the rate this is going right now with the walks, he's got to get it under control, or else Sal might make a change.
As Wilfredo Mendez Jr. steps in and takes a slider in the dirt, and it takes a really excellent block from Clay Wargo to keep it in front and keep the bases loaded. No score, top of the second, but the Giants have other ideas.
If things get out of hand here, I don't think they'll give him the hook just yet.
1-0, line drive into left field. The left fielder Orr moves to his right, makes the catch, inning over. Galley strands the bases loaded. The Giants have left 5 on base through 2 innings. To the bottom of the second, no score. baseball before brunch. As the big train and the Giants square off in the first of 2 games today. Bottom of the second, no score. Jack Guerrero to the plate to face Mateus Conaway. The first pitch home. The slider, watch out, above the head of Guerrero. A ball and no strikes. Third baseman from UNC Wilmington at the plate, and he swings at a 1-0 and lines it back to the screen. A ball and a strike. Using the bright pink bat. Big Train offer all their players. 1-1. That slider spins outside. 2 balls and a strike. Didn't play very much for the Diamond Hawks down in Wilmington, North Carolina this past spring. 2-1, swing and a miss at a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just 7 games played in. 6 at-bats. Didn't get a hit, but did score a run. 2-2. That is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Conaway paints the edge, and there's 1 away. His first strikeout of the day. It's Jason Schiavone to the plate with 1 away. So lefty winds and deals, and the fastball upstairs, a ball and no strikes. Schiavone in his 2nd year with the Big Train. As he swings at a 1-0 fastball, and it's even at a ball and a strike. Conaway working about as efficiently and quickly on the mound as one could possibly do. 1-1. Fastball just inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Schiavone has not had the highest average on the team this year, but has been very valuable.
It's the 2-1 outside. 3 balls and a strike. You mentioned valuable.
Yeah.
Last game did not have a recorded at-bat. Did have 4 plate appearances, and he walked in all of them.
That's
So he lines the 3-1 back to the screen to run the count.
That's what I was getting at. Just the walks this year for him have been incredible. Leads the team. I think he's up to 16 now in total, if I remember from that last game. He's just been an on-base machine either way.
3-2. Hits one in the air, deep down the left field line. Back goes Marcelo. Looks up, and that ball is gone. Jason Schiavone with his first homer of the summer. And the Big Train on top 1-0.
Got a good fastball there to hit and yanked it. I mean, these righties are going to do some damage today to this left-hander. We saw Orr with a hard hit single earlier, and now, I mean, Jason Schiavone showing some pop. He's had some good extra base hits and some good swings this year, but that's the best one so far we've seen.
So Clay Wargo to the plate, another right-hander, and he attacks the first pitch and fouls it back off the screen. No balls and a strike. 1-0 the Big Train lead in the bottom of the second. With 1 away, and the 9-hole hitter at the plate. 0-1. Slider outside. Ball and a strike. Wargo excellent behind the plate defensively, as we talked about last half inning. It's the 1-1 home. Sends a high fly ball in the air to center. Wilfredo Mendez Jr., the center fielder, comes in, battles with the sun, and makes the catch for out number 2. But Wargo has struggled at the plate, now 1 of 13 on the summer. Has had some good swings of the bat, just nothing going his way at the moment. But I think the Big Train expect that to change for a guy also in his 2nd summer.
And the thing for him as well is, you know, he's not playing every day. So
Williams takes a slider outside, a ball and no strikes.
So, you know, he's not getting opportunities to raise that batting average daily like a lot of these other guys are. So it's why he, you know, is scuffling just a little bit.
1-0 in the dirt with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. The catchers rotate. For the most part, it's been Wargo and DeLisi.
Yes.
2-0. Williams pops it up high and foul over the third base seats and out of play. It's 2 balls and a strike. Williams, along with his ECU teammate Carter Cunningham, the 2 hottest hitters in the lineup, on a 9-game hit streak. He's gone 17 for 42 over that stretch. He takes a 2-1 fastball up and in, 3 balls and a strike, 14 runs and 13 RBIs over the last 9 games. 3-1 and a swing and a miss at a fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the full count offering. It is up high, ball 4. A 2-out walk for Williams. He's aboard for Connor Rasmussen.
Sophomore, SCU, the shortstop, number 13, Connor Rasmussen.
Command for Conaway starting to slip away a bit. You know, the home run, now the walk.
Rasmussen squares and takes the ball down below the knees.
You know, Wargo had a couple of good pitches to swing at, fouled one back and hit one out towards center field. So he's working more inwards with the zone. You know, he's not working the corners as much.
So that 1-0 downstairs again with another fastball. 2 balls and no strikes.
We've seen it, you know, every once in a while, but he's kind of going high and low like you saw right there.
Set, and the lefty deals a 2-0. Well outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Has already issued 2 walks. Make that 3 walks so far today. 2 in the first, 1 in the second.
And all of them to left-handed hitters, too.
Cunningham hurt, and now Williams, who stands at first with good speed. 3-0 pitch is downstairs, ball 4. The 4th walk of the day, 2nd of the inning. And the big train setting up the heart of the order, the 3-hole hitter, Jacob Orr to the plate with 2 on and 2 down.
And now you're in a really tricky spot here with another righty coming up. And, of course, Orr saw a good fastball in his last at-bat and drove it into left. So expect stuff to be worked away.
As the first pitch popped up, right side, the first baseman Lieb ranges into foul territory and against the netting makes the catch, inning over. Big Train score 1 on the Jason Schiavone solo shot. They strand 2. We head to the 3rd, 1-0, the Big Train lead. To inning number 3. And Patrick Gallet returns to the mound, faces 3, 4, and 5 in this Giants lineup. 3 guys he struck out in the first inning. As Bennett Sheeler leads things off, the catcher from George Mason. looks to get the Giants offense going. Galley over the head windup and deals, and the first pitch a called strike on the inside corner. Fastball low and in, but a perfect spot. 0-1. Giants trying to bounce back after a slow start to the season as the 0-1 slider spins outside, a ball and a strike. 5-9 the record, and off to their worst start since 2015, when they started 3-11 through 14 games. 1-1 and another fastball right on the outside corner this time. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Patrick's really working the corners a little different than the left-hander Conaway for Gaithersburg, who was working more high and low.
1-2. That slider well outside, and seems to not have the command on that pitch at the moment. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I will say, though, that Conaway is working the opposite a little more than Galley is.
2-2. Fastball hits it in the air to shallow left center. Left fielder Orr ranges into the gap and makes the catch for out number 1.
And what I mean by that is Conaway is working more high and low, but we're seeing him do the corners more, as Galley is, hitting corners but isn't really going high and low as much.
So with 1 away, Garrett Runyon to the plate. And that's something pitchers can differ on because of pitching styles, as the slider skips in the dirt, a ball and no strikes, right?
Yeah.
Some pitchers work up and down, others work side to side, depending on their stuff.
East and West has always been, in my opinion,
So fastball finds the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
has always been the best route, I would say. It's you can do both. You just risk, if you're working high and low,
1-1 line back off the screen, a ball and 2 strikes.
you have a better chance of having a ball over the middle of the plate, because it really is. It is over the middle of the plate. It's just higher. It's just lower. Whereas the corners, again, are just kind of a part of the plate, or it's hooking if it's like a slider outwards.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball well up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It helps to work north and south if you have
Yes.
a higher velocity fastball that you can get by guys. Conaway doesn't really have that in his arsenal, but 2-2. Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Runyon. 4th K of the day for Patrick Galley. And there's 2 away.
Not to mention, even though we do have some pitchers like Galley who can hit mid-90s, it's not Major League Baseball where you're constantly hitting 98, 97, 99. So you don't see it as often with college students and players who, no matter what level, Division I, JUCO, NAIA.
As Knapp takes a first pitch in and it hits him.
Ooh.
Catches maybe a part of the jersey, and he gets aboard with 2 away in a 1-0 Big Train lead. Noah Lieb to the plate. Giants have left 5 guys on base through 2 innings. First pitch to Lieb, and the fastball well up and away. Off for second goes Knapp as it hits off the glove of Wargo. His throw down is late. A high throw, and Rasmussen has to jump in the air to bring the baseball down. So mark that as a pass ball. And it's a ball and no strikes.
It wasn't a great pitch, but that's one that Wargo has to hold on to.
Giants looking to come through with runner in scoring position. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The fastball misses. A team that has been on the wrong side of some close games. Snapped their 4-game losing streak last night, but the previous 3 games before that, they lost by 1 run in each of them. As a line drive, a dive from the shortstop, Rasmussen up the middle, and he makes the catch to end the inning. saves a run and keeps the Big Train in front. 1-0. We head to the bottom of the third on the Big Train at Baseball Network. Bottom of the third, 1-0 the Big Train lead, and it's Carter Cunningham to lead things off. Faces Mateus Conaway, the Whitman College product, all the way from the West Coast. First pitch, and Cunningham rolls one on a line up the middle. The shortstop Wilson into a slide. Fields in his throw to first is well wide. It gets past the first baseman Lieb, and Cunningham aboard on what you imagine is going to be a score to base hit.
Yes,
It looked like
I
Cunningham
would
beat
agree.
that out.
Yeah, Cunningham can run, and that's just a tough play. And when you go down into slides or dives, or you have to jump up or something like that, that's usually a sign that it's probably going to be ruled a hit.
So Hurd to the plate with a runner at first and nobody out, and he takes a fastball high and wide, a ball and no strikes. Conaway from the Bay Area. Went to high school at Alhambra as Hurd swings it a 1-0 and lines it into left center. The center fielder Mendez Jr. ranges quickly into the gap to make the catch. So the battle of the Bay Area kids goes to Conaway in their second meeting. And with one away, Teddy Ruffner to the plate. Another member of the Diamond Hawks. Not uncommon to see baseball teams in college, as the fastball outside, a ball, no strikes, put a spin on their name, usually adding Diamond ahead of it. 1-0. Outside with a fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. There's some more uncommon changes. Long Beach State is one of them. Their official mascot is the Beach, which is somewhat strange in itself.
That's a little interesting.
The Long Beach State Beach.
The whole beach?
The Beach. 2-0. Fastball called a strike, 2-1. It used to be the 49ers, but they since switched their name to the Beach. But for baseball, and this goes way back, they are called the Dirtbags.
Interesting.
And as Conaway looks at first and deals a 2-1, and a line drive back to the screen evens the count 2-2. It comes because back in the day, they used to play on an all-dirt or practice on an all-dirt field. And so their white uniforms would come back completely covered in dirt. And someone made the observation that, as Ruffner fouls one back, that the jerseys looked like dirt bags. And, well, it stuck. And
there you go.
That is the official name of their baseball team. So it's the Long Beach State Dirtbags, and every other sport, it's the Long Beach State Beach. one of the weirder changes
Yeah.
in college baseball. 2-2, and Ruffner fouls one again back over the
I
press
have to.
box.
I have to wonder. What do you dress up as if you're the mascot? Are you dressing up as a wave? Or are you dressing up as?
So their official mascot, I don't think they have a dirtbag mascot, but they
Yes.
do have a shark for the beach.
Okay, there you go.
And his name is the 2-2 to Ruffner. Downstairs, Carter Cunningham off for second. The throw in and out of the glove of the shortstop Wilson, and it's a stolen base for Cunningham, who moves himself into scoring position, is a shark named Elby. It's E-L-B-E-E is how it's spelled, but it's Elby just like Long Beach State, LB their initials, and LB the name of their mascot, but spelled phonetically. Cool little play
Yeah.
on that. Used to be a gold miner back when they were the 49ers. Of course, in reference,
There
as
it
a balk
is.
is called. Over to third goes Cunningham. Gold miner in reference, to finish up, is in reference, of course, to the gold rush in California that got the state founded back in 18. As the pitch fouled away by Guerrero. Back in 1850. But the gold rush began in 1849.
49. Yeah.
As the 0-1 fouled away again down the third base line. 0-2. I had to check. I was pretty sure. I've had to take California history a couple times. in
Really?
school. Yeah. 4th grade, California history. 5th grade, U.S. history. Maybe it was the other way around. 0-2. Outside. Ball and 2 strikes.
Got to learn the history of your state before the history of our country.
Exactly. Exactly. I was in the same classroom for 4th and 5th grade, so they all kind of
Oh, really?
men together. 1-2 pitch, and Guerrero swings and hits one in the air to right center field, but Wilfredo Mendez Jr., the center fielder, into the gap, and he makes the catch to end the inning. He's been busy, but the inning comes to an end. On to the 4th, 1-0, the Big Train lead. To inning number 4, a third of the way through this first game of 2. Bottom third of the order up for the Giants. 1-0, the Big Train lead. Galley back to the mound. Winds and deals a first pitch, and Steen hits a little bloop to the right side. The second baseman, Dixon Williams, stares right into the sun, and with the sunglasses on, reaches belt high to make the catch for the first out. It has not been smooth sailing for Galley. Has allowed 3 hits and a couple walks, but still yet to allow a run. There's Marcelo to the plate. And he takes the first pitch fastball in the outside corner. No balls and a strike.
Yeah, you're starting to see him get ahead of counts, or excuse me, get ahead of hitters in the count.
0-1, the slider just outside. A check swing from Marcelo. He did not go.
Which is something that he was not doing through the first couple of innings, falling behind hitters. You know, he had 3 walks, a couple of base hits as well.
It's the 1-1 fastball upstairs and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like he's taken something off that fastball just a bit.
Yeah.
Galley, of course, can touch into the high 90s. 2-1. Swinging a line drive right back off the screen. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we'll have to get the velo for him today. I wish we had that in here. That would be awesome if we could have, you know, that, what's it called? TrackMan? Is that what it's called? TrackMan, yeah.
Tracks all the data. 2-2. Swing and a miss. The fastball strikes out Marcelo. 5 strikeouts on the day for Galley. And there's 2 away. In the top of the 4th, 1-0 the Big Train lead. A guy who will head back to Ole Miss in the fall and likely contribute in some way in the spring.
Yes. To a team that was kind of a, I should say kind of a big disappointment this year.
As Jesse Lacefield to the plate. Takes the breaking ball inside, a ball and no strikes. The reigning national champions, but did not make the NCAA tournament this past year. It is fair to wonder if the expectations were slightly too high as the 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. A team that was one of the last 4 in.
I think
the
they
tournament.
were the last one.
I think they might have been the
Yes.
last team in. And, of course, the talent was always there. They were a top 10 team heading into that season in 2022 as the 2-0 outside, 3 balls and no strikes. But disappointed for most of the regular season, then ran through the tournament and won the title. And then missed the tournament a year later. 3-0. Outside, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Lacefield. And it's back to the top of the order for Josh Wilson. Mississippi, as a state, has run college baseball the last couple of years, with Mississippi State winning the title in 2021, and they didn't get to hold the bragging rights for very long with Ole Miss, their rival, winning it a year later. And an SEC team will win a title this year with Florida and LSU matching up in Game 2 tonight. LSU 1 win away from becoming national champs. First pitch fastball called a strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
Do you have LSU winning, or do you think Florida will come back and win the next 2?
I think Florida wins tonight.
Okay.
And then I think we see Skeens. As the 0-1 lined into left field, Wilson picks up his second base hit of the day. And he is on base for the 3rd time, puts runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 down, and the Giants still looking to crack the scoreboard. I imagine Skeens will pitch on Monday, as crazy as that sounds.
No, he'll definitely go on Monday.
He's thrown so many pitches this tournament, thrown so many pitches in Omaha, but that looks to be the end of the day for Galley. So he gets through 3 2/3. Not his sharpest stuff, but still an excellent start, and a call to the bullpen takes us to a break. 1-0 the Big Train lead with 2 down in the top of the 4th. top of the third. Let's restart. Top of the fourth.
Hey, it's 11 a.m. Yo, this is not our usual timing for this.
Raise your hand if you would still be sleeping right now.
Yes, I can raise my hand to that. With our schedules, usually. Well, I don't know if I would be sleeping.
I would not be sleeping.
I would
but
probably still be,
in bed.
yes, laying around.
Wilfredo Mendez Jr. to the plate, top of the fourth, 2 down, runners at first and second. He takes a fastball on the outside edge, called to strike, 0-1. Max Martzoff, the new pitcher for the Big Train, has been excellent so far, including getting the save against these Giants on Monday, the last game for the Big Train. 0-1. Another fastball. This two-seamer misses outside. Ball on a strike. Some good arm side run for Martzoff, the lefty on the mound.
In that outing, he rarely threw anything other than a fastball, which, again, did have some good movement on it.
1-1. Mendez rolls it to the right side. Williams, the second baseman, fields. He flips to the shortstop, Rasmussen, covering second for out number 3, inning over. Galley gives up a hit and a walk, strands 2 more. It's 1-0 Big Train. We head to the bottom of the fourth. To the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Big Train, and Jason Schiavone back to the plate after his solo home run in inning number 2, and he takes a first pitch on the inside corner, 0-1. Mateus Conaway back to the mound for the Giants, looking to hold the deficit. 0-1. Outside with another fastball, a ball and a strike. One pitch, and the slider drops in off the knees. A ball and 2 strikes. Schiavone playing first base today. We've seen him all over the field so far this summer. 1-2. Just outside. Another fastball from Conaway. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Played 4 different positions so far in the field, not including designated hitter. 2-2. Takes up and away again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball can't find the zone. Seen Schiavone in left, right, at first, and behind the plate. Catcher for James Madison. 3-2. He pops one up on the infield. The second baseman, Steen, can't see it. It's the first baseman, Lieb, who can, and he makes the catch just on the infield grass for out number 1.
Conaway kind of changed, if you noticed, the way he pitched to Schiavone. If you remember, high and low last time, he let a fastball over the middle of the plate, bite him, and it went over the wall. But now went to the corners, except for that last pitch. Was able to get the out on that last pitch, on a pitch a little more on the plate.
As a slider to Wargo stays outside.
But everything else was corners to Schiavone in that at-bat.
Ball at no strikes. 1-0. Slider spins inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Mentioned Steen couldn't see the ball at second base. Early morning game. The sun shines straight over the press box and down onto the infielders. It's the 2-0 well outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Rare to have a day game at Shirley Povich Field. This will be one of just 3 games that starts before 4:30. 3-0. And that is upstairs, ball 4. A 1-out walk to Wargo on 4 pitches.
Speaking of things a little different, our last game, of course, the Juneteenth Classic. We had the Scotland Eagles uniforms. I really enjoyed seeing the big train in white.
It was cool. And those jerseys are really cool. Honor a great cause as well. Dixon Williams back to the plate. First pitch home, and he swings and hits the ball into center field. Wilfredo Mendez Jr., the center fielder, barely has to move as he shades his eyes with his glove to make the catch for out number 2.
Do you have white home uniforms that you use? My God, USC?
Yeah, so USC has really 4 uniforms they wear regularly. They have the white uniforms, they have the Cardinal uniforms, which is a shade of red, but they go by Cardinal.
Yes.
As Connor Rasmussen to the plate in the first pitch, ground ball sharply to the right side. The second baseman Steen flips to the shortstop Wilson for out number 3, and that ends the inning. We'll talk more Trojan baseball uniforms on the other side. It's 1-0 Big Train. We head to the 5th from Shirley Povich Field. Inning number 5 from Shirley Povich Field. Adam Glover, Eli Kleinman. Glad to be back. It's been a while since we've talked to everyone. Thanks for joining us on what started early in the morning, especially if you're on the West Coast. Might have some viewers on the West Coast. If you woke up and caught our start at 7 a.m., good for you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We really do. Bennett Sheeler to lead things off. 1-0 Big Train as Martzoff back to the mound. And a first pitch, a pop-up to the right side. And the second baseman, Dixon Williams, can't see it. And it lands on the infield, hits off his shoe, and rolls back to the mound. He just lost it in the sun and couldn't find the baseball. So Bennett Sheeler aboard on what is being ruled an error on the Big Train second baseman. Not much he can do about that. Sunglasses are on, but now trying to get the vision back. After you stare in the sun, it's so tricky. Garrett Runyon to the plate with a runner at first and nobody out. He takes a first pitch fastball in for a strike, 0-1. Still trying to get the vision back as he waves his hands over his eyes. 0-1 pitch. Outside with a fastball, ball and a strike. We saw the second baseman Randy Steen lose the ball in the sun last inning. But luckily, it was Lieb, the first baseman, able to make the catch. This time, no one there to help Williams. 1-1. Fly ball into shallow center field. The shortstop Rasmussen calls for it. He dances with the sun, but makes the catch in the outfield for the first out.
And now you're going to kind of hold your breath for every single pop-up in Eli. I mean, we've already seen it now. It happened once, but we've seen, players have problems now twice. So every time, you better be running. Especially if there's 2 outs and there's a pop-up, you better be running because there's a chance it drops.
Lieb to the plate and watches the first pitch outside. A ball and no strike. It is tricky today. No clouds in the sky for the most part. A couple smaller ones sit above center field. 1-0. Swinging a fly ball down the right field line and out of play. Oh, that might have landed in the bounce house. I think there's a roof on that thing.
There is.
That's good. The candles sticking out. Looks like a birthday cake. Bounce house. 1-1. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 down. 1-0 Big Train.
Have you gone in there yet?
I have not.
Neither have I.
But I saw Bunt, the mascot, made his way in there.
I think our GM, Michael, also did too.
Looks like fun. 1-2. Outside, Wargo throws back to first, and in safely is Bennett Sheila. They call it a moon bounce here in Maryland.
I've always known it as a bounce house.
That's exactly what I known it as. Bounce house, bouncy house.
When I forget it, I usually just call it that blow-up thing at parties.
2-2. A called strike. 3. Down goes Knapp looking for out number 2. And a nice job by Martzoff to work back after Sheila reached on the error. So Noah Lieb to the plate. Did not play last night. Dennison Product takes a fastball call to strike on the outside. 0-1. A phenomenal season for Dennison. This past spring, hit .379 with 8 home runs, 61 RBIs. First team all NCAC conference selection. It's the 0-1 outside, a ball and a strike. Dennison, a school of just 2,300.
Where is it?
It is
Illinois?
in Illinois. Oh, take that back. It's in Ohio.
Ohio.
Noah Lieb is from Illinois as he lines one foul down the left field line. A ball and 2 strikes. Smaller than a lot of high schools around the country.
Yes. Not smaller than mine, though.
It's fair. Some high schools are small. As the throw to first gets away from the first baseman, Schiavone, and rolls down the right field line. Over to second goes Sheeler. Schiavone's throw goes over the head of the shortstop Rasmussen into left. And Orr's throw in left field goes over the head of the third baseman, Guerrero. But this time, Sheeler holds it third. It's chaos at Shirley Povich Field in the top of the 5th. And now a runner at third with 2 away.
So that's an error on Martzoff with the throw to first, and then an error on a throw for Schiavone to allow the runner Sheeler to go second to third.
Feels like things just spiraled out of control as a 2-2 line drive into right field, a base hit. Lieb ties the game as Sheeler comes in to score, and we're all even at 1 in the top of the 5th.
Well, that's cause and effect. You throw the ball around, and you mess with fire, you're going to get burned, and there it is. You give him a fastball that leaked over the middle to a good hitter in Lieb, and he's not going to miss a pitch like that.
So 3 errors in the inning have cost the Big Train. A swing and a miss from Randy Steen. 0-1. The runner at first and 2 down. Steen with a double back in the second. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Down 0-2. Trying to heat back up. Came into the day 1 for 9 over his last 3 games after a 5 for 9 stretch previously. 0-2. Hits a pop-up, high and foul behind the plate. Clay Wargo tosses off the mask and the helmet, but no play on the baseball. Stays no balls and 2 strikes. Martzoff trying to limit the damage. The top of the 5th. Looks at first. 0-2 pitch. Steen hits a high fly ball down the left field line. It's hooking left and foul. It bounds off the tennis court once and into the woods. So no balls and 2 strikes. Martzoff already set on the mound. And Steen stands back in. Sat at the bell. 0-2. Steen rolls one softly to the left side. The third baseman Guerrero fields his throw on to second, a little wide, but Williams able to hold his foot on the bag and end the inning. 3 errors for the Big Train and an RBI single from Noah Lieb allow a run to cross for the Giants, all tied at 1 halfway home from Shirley Povich Field. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field, bottom of the 5th. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Big Train in a tie ball game after Noah Lieb brought home the first run of the game for the Giants in the top of the 5th with an RBI single. Jacob Orr gets things started against Mateus Conaway. Takes a slider inside and it hits him on the back foot. Flips the bat, jogs to first, and a leadoff runner aboard.
But will take that.
Doesn't look like that one hurt too much. That slider, not a ton of velocity on it. Just comes back. So Cunningham at the plate in the first pitch. Swinging a line drive down the right field line into the corner. It is a foul ball. Carter Cunningham close, and a smile on his face as he looks into the Giants' dugout, and all he can do is shrug his shoulders. So no balls and a strike. 0-1. Slider well upstairs. 1-1 the count with nobody out. The runner at first. Big Train trying to take back the lead. 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. The most dangerous part of this lineup with Hurd and Ruffner to follow. 2-1 pitch. Cunningham hits a high fly ball up the elevator shaft into center. Wilfredo Mendez Jr., center fielder to his left, and he makes the catch in center for out number 1.
So right fielder number 35, Jeffrey Hurd.
So the league leader in home run and RBIs at the plate with 1 away. Jeffrey Hurd, 0 for 1, did draw a walk back in the first. Big Train trying to capitalize with runners on base or on the move. The pitch, called strike, throw down to second, skips in, and it is late. Or with his second stolen base of the summer and his second stolen base of the morning. No balls and a strike, the count to Hurd with a runner in scoring position. Big Train trying to bring the offense back to life. 0-1. Hurd, drive, deep to right field. Back goes Knapp. That ball is way out of here. Second home run of the day for the Big Train. And the league leader in homers hits his 4th. It's 3-1 Big Train. They jump back in front.
Yep, impressive stuff from Hurd. As usual, just put a really good swing on it and took a second to admire it as well. Nice little bat flip staying at home plate.
Talk about capitalizing on the opportunity. Jeffrey Hurd does just that. As Ruffner to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. And he hits a high fly ball into left, but Marcelo, the left fielder, takes a few steps back and to his right towards the line and makes the catch for out number 2. Second home run Hurd has hit against lefties so far this summer. And the power just continues to be such a problem for opposing teams. As Guerrero to the plate with 2 down and nobody on. Takes a slider that spins its way onto the inside corner. No balls and a strike. 0-1. Swing and a miss at a slider well outside. Had him fooled. 0-2. Big Train mentioned some of the offensive struggles over the last 4 games coming into today as the 0-2 fouled away down the third baseline. Stays 0-2. Just 20 runs over the last 4 games, which comes out to 5 runs a game. And it's not a bad number, but for the Big Train, it is well below what they had been putting up in previous games. 0-2. And it hits Guerrero. A slider gets away and just hits him right on the backside. So a runner at first with 2 down. And a visit to the mound, and that might be the end of the day for Conaway. Big Train have scored 20 runs in 2 separate games this season, but that is the end for Mateus Conaway. The 2-run shot from Hurd has the Big Train back in front. 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th with 2 down and a runner at first when we return. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field for Grandparents' Day at the ballpark. 3-1 the Big Train lead in the bottom of the fifth, 2 down, and a runner at first for Jason Schiavone. First pitch in, and the fastball outside, a ball and no strikes. New pitcher is Julian Elizondo, Washington and Jefferson product. Their mascot, the Presidents. As a throw to first, and they got him! Jack Guerrero picked off, and the inning is over. So just like that, Elizondo throws one pitch, throws over to first one time, and the inning comes to an end. But the Big Train on top through 5, 3-1 after the Jeffrey Hurd 2-run blast on to the 6th. To the 6th inning we go from Shirley Povich Field. 8-9-1 due up for the Giants. It's 3-1 Big Train after Jeffrey Hurd hit a 2-run shot to right field in the bottom of the 5th to put the Big Train back in front. Andrew Marcello leads things off, faces Max Martzoff, and takes a fastball in the inside corner called to strike, 0-1. Canisius College product from upstate New York. 0-1. Inside with a fastball, a ball and a strike. Originally from Pittsburgh. 1-1. And a called strike on the outside corner. That fastball that runs away from right-handers in towards lefties. Called a strike. It's 1-2. Smartsoff shakes off Wargo once and twice. And he winds and deals a 1-2 pitch. And the slider, perfect pitch. A called strike 3 on the outside corner. And Marcello goes down on the strikeout for out number 1.
Yeah, seeing Martzoff kind of go into his arsenal a little bit more compared to last time when it was just heavily fastball is good to see. Implementing that breaking ball a little more. We've seen a few change-ups as well. He's looking really good so far.
So Jesse Lacefield, the lefty, stands in. And he takes a first pitch. Called a strike on the inner half with a fastball, 0-1. Big Train have won 7 straight against the Giants. Includes the 2 postseason games last year. 0-1. A fastball, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-2. They met in the league semifinal. And the Big Train won in 2 games to advance to the league championship series. Here's the 0-2. Slider spins outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Last year they even met in a doubleheader, and the Big Train won both of those games as a part of that 7-game win streak. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Martzoff, and there's 2 away. His 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
Number 4, Joshua Wilson.
And back to the top of the order for Joshua Wilson, who has been red hot, a double, a single, and a walk in 3 at-bats. Adds to his 3-game hit streak, now up to 4. Martzoff winds and deals, and the first pitch up and away with a fastball, ball and no strikes. Wilson, one of the guys left out of the lineup last night. The last game he played before today was on Monday here at Shirley Povich Field against the Big Train as he fouls a 1-0 off the screen, a ball and a strike. Part of Frederick Community College that made it to the Junior College D2 World Series this spring. And he was a large part of it. 1-1. Slider stays way outside to the right-hander. 2-1 the count. As Wilson holds that bat over his right shoulder. 2-1 pitch. Swing and lines one back off the screen again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A couple of options here. You see him shaking off a few signs. He's got something he likes.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Martzoff strikes out the side, and the inning is over. 4 strikeouts on the day for Max Martzoff, and we're through 5.5 to the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 Big Train. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Big Train as Jason Schiavone back to the plate to face Julian Elizondo. Righty on righty matchup. Schiavone takes a first pitch fastball, floats in for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Schiavone a home run and a pop out in 2 at-bats. Elizondo 0-1. Outside, a ball and a strike with a fastball. Elizondo came in to finish the bottom of the 5th and picked off Jack Guerrero after he threw a strike to Schiavone. Schiavone a second chance. It's the 1-1 outside again and downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Excellent start to the summer for Elizondo. 1.28 ERA in 2 games. 7 innings pitched. Schiavone pops the 2-1 a mile high on the infield. And who can see it? Wilson, the shortstop, ranges across the infield to the right side of second base to make the catch. And once again, the second baseman, Randy Steen, had no idea where the baseball was. Palms pointed towards the sky, just trying to navigate it in the sun. But luckily, Josh Wilson able to find it for out number 1.
I think Josh also had a better angle at it with Steen having to look right up into the sun. Wilson could kind of range and look, not directly up.
It's the first pitch to Wargo, outside with a fastball, 1-0. And that's absolutely spot on. as Elizondo deals a 1-0 pitch, and Wargo lines it back off the screen, 0-2. It's tricky everywhere right now, but it seems that second base is having the most trouble locating the baseball.
Yeah.
Oh-2 pitch. And the breaking ball stays well inside to Wargo. Ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Outside with a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher Wargo looking for his first hit of the day. And he checks his swing and fouls one back. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hit 90 degrees at Shirley Povich Field. Still haven't hit noon.
Lot warmer than it was supposed to be a couple of days ago.
And the 2-2 hits Wargo square in the back, and he is not happy. Just flips the bat, and a slow walk down to first. Doesn't seem all that pleased.
That's the third time a big train hitter has been hit, and it's the third time in the last 7 hitters as well. And for a guy like Wargo, too, who we talked about earlier, doesn't play every day. So these plate appearances are valuable to him, especially to get time in to swing the bat. That's what this league is all about, getting extra time.
Dixon Williams to the plate. Represents the top of the order, and he's ahead 1-0 after the fastball misses outside. Still trying to extend that 9-game hit streak. 1-0. Swing, a line drive into left center field. The left fielder, Marcelo, ranges into the gap and makes the catch on the move for out number 2. Well, maybe Williams gets one more chance to extend that hit streak to 10 games. It's Connor Rasmussen to the plate. Headed to Tulane, a team that made the NCAA tournament after storming through the American Conference tournament and winning it despite a sub-500 record. Had 1-0 on a fastball outside. One-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. But a team that is playing in a conference losing 3 of its top 5 teams. ECU, best team in the league in the regular season. They're still there. But Houston, UCF, and Cincinnati all going to the Big 12. It's the 2-0 up and away, 3 balls and no strikes. And some new faces joining the American. Starting in the fall, Rice. Florida Atlantic, 3-0. Up and away, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Rasmussen. Runners at first and second with 2 down. For Jacob Orr. Some mound visit from the catcher Bennett Sheeler. Have teams like UTSA and Charlotte joining the league. A lot of new faces in the American Conference. A lot of new faces reshuffling everywhere across college athletics.
Yeah, the Atlantic Sun Conference, which is what North Florida's in, had that happen a year ago. We added a lot of new teams. Queens University of Charlotte came in, as well as just a bunch of other ones. Jacksonville State came in temporarily. They're leaving, though. But we're losing Liberty, who's kind of been running our conference for the past 5 years.
Up and in with a fastball to Orr, a ball and no strikes. Both Jacksonville State and Liberty joining the
I think it's Conference USA?
CUSA Conference.
CUSA Conference, yeah.
Which is Conference
Yeah,
USA, spot on. It's a called strike on the outside, 1-1 the count with 2 down, because they're losing a bunch of teams to the American, and American's losing teams to the Big 12, and the Big 12 is losing teams to the SEC. It all goes round. Everyone goes up the ladder just a bit. 1-1 up and in, 2 balls and a strike. And that is nothing against any of the lower conferences, but it is all about the money. Big Train trying to break this game wide open. A pair on with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 pitch, or fouls one back and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, Carter Cunningham and Jeffrey Hurd to follow if the Big Train can extend the inning. Up 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Elizondo set. 2-2. Upstairs to Orr. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the runners get a head start on this full count offering. Set at the belt, Elizondo. 3-2. Runners go. Inside, ball 4. Second straight walk, and the bases are loaded for Carter Cunningham.
Yeah, you're in dangerous territory now. You got 2 really good power hitters in Cunningham and then Hurd after him. Due up. The bases loaded. A real chance here for Bethesda to blow this game open a little bit.
A meeting on the mound. The pitching coach heads out to talk to Elizondo. Cunningham, a 1-for-2 day, a walk, a single, and a flyout, but hit an absolute rocket down the right field line that was just foul his last at-bat. So the tall lefty at the plate. Had 3 hits against the Giants on Monday, looking for similar production. And Elizondo in a bit of trouble. First pitch home. Up and away with a fastball, ball and no strikes to Cunningham. The Big Train have left 8 guys on base through 5 innings. Have 3 on the base paths right now with 2 down. 1-0. Down and away with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. At third is Wargo. At second is Rasmussen. At first is Orr. Big Train have benefited from free passes here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0. Up and away. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And now you imagine Cunningham will get a fastball down the middle of the plate if Elizondo does not want to allow a run to score. 3-0. And Cunningham takes all the way, and it's a strike. Catches the outer part of the plate. 3-1 the count. Jeffrey Hurd, who had a 2-run homer his last time up, on deck as the 3-1 is outside, ball 4. Into score comes Wargo. It's 4-1 Big Train, and the bases remain loaded. And that is the end of the day for Julian Elizondo. New pitcher coming in, bases loaded with 2 outs, and Jeffrey Hurd, the league leader in home runs, coming to the plate. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field. Bases loaded, 2 down, and Jeffrey Hurd coming to the plate. The new pitcher, Travis Thompson. A 40.50 ERA. Yes, you heard that correctly. In 3 games pitched, just 2 innings, and the reason for it, he gave up 8 earned runs, 10 total runs against the Big Train in the 26-0 win over the Giants earlier this summer, which is the biggest victory for the Big Train in the point streaks era, which dates back to 2010.
Yeah, like you said, pitched against us, really roughed up, hung a curveball to Dean Twigo that game, and Twigo hit a 3-run home run over the right field wall, and that's kind of Travis Thompson's game. He's got that breaking ball. It's one of his main pitches that he features. He's going to use it a lot, but he's got to make sure he doesn't hang it to Jeffrey Hurd. Everybody's seen so far what Jeffrey Hurd can do to hang in curveballs.
4 home runs and 24 RBIs on the summer. Hit a home run an inning ago. First pitch. Up and away with a fastball. 1-0 the count. Thompson with some work to do. Bases loaded. At third is Rasmussen. At second is Orr. At first is Cunningham. Thompson set, shoulder high. The 1-0, a line drive into right field, a base hit. Into score Rasmussen. Right behind him is Orr. The throw goes into second. And Hurd with a pair of RBIs to break things open. It's 6-1 Big Train.
There it is. Curveball that just broke right over the middle of the plate. Jeffrey Hurd didn't get the best swing on it. I think he was still sitting on that fastball from the pitch prior, but able to adjust, able to still yank it into right field, and played a couple of RBIs.
So runners at the corners with Cunningham at third, Hurd at first. Bottom of the 6th. It's the pitch. In the dirt. Ruffner holds Cunningham at third. Fastball just skipped in. Ball and no strikes. Thompson looking to get the final out of the inning. 1-0. Well upstairs with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Hurd, a guy who can be known to steal a couple bases. 6 on the summer so far in 15 games. 2-0. Just inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And Thompson in trouble. Potential to load the bases once again. 3-0. Fastball well high, ball 4. And they are loaded once again after the walk from Ruffner. And Jack Guerrero a chance to really plant the dagger in the Giants. Looking for his first hit the last 3 games. He swings and misses at a fastball, 0-1. 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch last inning and then picked off to end the inning. Bases loaded, 2 down, 6-1 Big Train. And Guerrero takes a fastball downstairs, a ball and a strike. The infield shifts towards the right side for the lefty. 1-1. Called strike with the breaking ball on the outer edge. It's a ball and 2 strikes, and a generous call from the home plate umpire. One-two on its way. That curveball comes nowhere close. Well up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, that's where you want to locate that pitch. It's just the righty Travis Thompson does not have the command of it right now. Like you said, generous call a couple of pitches prior. Both of them missing outside.
2-2. Just outside with the fastball. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. about the same spot that the second strike was called. This time, no call. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded, runners on the move. Here they go. 3-2 home, and a swing and a miss from Guerrero. The strikeout ends the inning. Big Train get all 9 batters to the plate, and they score 3 runs. On the big hit, the 2 RBI single. We head to the 7th, but first, in an interview with Big Train owner Bruce Adams. To the top of the 7th we go from Shirley Povich Field. 6-1 Big Train. They have broken things open. 5 runs in the last 2 innings as Wilfredo Mendez Jr. leads things off. Oh for 2 day as Max Martzoff returns to the mound. Lefty winds and deals, and Mendez bounces the first pitch to the right side. Rasmussen, the second baseman, fields on the backhand behind the second base bag, throws to first in time to get Mendez 1 away.
Number 25, Bennett Sheeler.
So Bennett Sheeler to the plate with 1 down. The only Giant to score today, reached on an error, moved from first to third on a pair of errors, and then scored on an RBI single as he takes a strike at the bottom of the zone with a fastball, 0-1. Martzoff deals an 0-1 pitch. Slider just outside, a ball and a strike. Martzoff has been excellent against the Giants in his last 2 appearances, including today, as he gets a called strike at the knees on a 1-1. A fastball with the perfect spot, 1-2. And here is the 1-2 pitch. Just outside with a fastball to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martzoff went 3 innings on Monday, just allowing 2 hits and no runs as the 2-2. A called strike 3 on the inside corner. Down goes Sheeler, strikeout number 5 for Max Martzoff. 2 away.
Number 41, Garrett Runyon.
Yeah, I like seeing Martzoff use that inside corner a little bit more. You know, fastball, there's always the possibility that a right-handed hitter turns on it, but he's locating it well. It's very similar movement to what he had the last time out, and he's looking great so far.
As Runyon to the plate, and he swings through a fastball, 0-1. Martzoff has now gone 3 scoreless innings once again and still cruising in the top of the 7th. Shakes off Wargo. Has the pitch he likes. 0-1. Fastball popped up and foul behind the plate. 0-2. Wind has died down out at the ballpark as it continues to heat up. We have hit afternoon in Bethesda. 0-2 pitch. Slider. A called strike. 3 on the inside corner. What a pitch by Martzoff. And it's his 6th strikeout in 3 1/3. On to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch. It's 6-1 Big Train. To the bottom of the 7th we go, and Jason Schiavone leads things off once again. It's 6-1 Big Train as Thompson once again returns to the mound, and a first pitch curveball well high, a ball and no strikes. He winds and deals a 1-0. And that slider finds the zone to even the count, a ball and a strike. Big Train seemingly on their way to a 2nd consecutive victory over the Giants. As the slider called the strike on the inside corner, and Schiavone shakes his head. Not too pleased with the call. 1-2 the count. Try to make it 3 straight wins over the Giants in their last 3 games played. 1-2, and that hits Schiavone in the back. Slider gets away from Thompson. Leadoff runner aboard.
That's now 3 straight innings with a hit by pitch. Not too many times have we seen that on a scorecard.
Yeah, the command has not been there for the Giants pitchers as of late. So Clay Wargo to the plate. He was the man hit by a pitch last inning. Check at the runner at first, and here's the pitch. And the slider in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. Wargo looking for his 2nd hit of the summer, but has reached twice today on a walk and a hit by pitch. 1-0, and he is jammed on a fastball inside, and he pops it foul down the right field line and out of play, a ball and a strike. Schiavone takes a 3-step lead off of first. There he goes, 1-1. Wargo takes downstairs, throw down to second, well late, and Jason Schiavone has a stolen base. Count 2 balls and a strike with nobody out, and a runner at second for the Big Train. Schiavone's 8th stolen base of the summer. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Clay Wargo. And he takes a slider that drops into the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order waits on deck. 2-2 pitch, and the slider spins outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Thompson has already walked a couple so far. 3-2. Wargo bounces one to third. The third baseman Lacefield fields on a couple hops and throws to first in time for out number 1. Schiavone remains at second.
Now batting for the big train, the second baseman, number 33, Dixon Williams.
So Dixon Williams to the plate with 1 away, and potentially his last chance to extend that 9-game hit streak. 0 for 3 today with 3 flyouts. Schiavone dances off the bag at second. Pitch into Williams. And the slider breaks too far inside. A ball and no strikes. Game 1 of the doubleheader today at Shirley Povich Field. Next one begins at either 1:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. 1-0, just inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Could potentially see Williams maybe swing at this pitch here. Up by 5 runs right now, runner in scoring position. Has a chance to maybe drive in a run here.
And Thompson steps off to check on Schiavone. He is not a fast worker.
No.
Wipes his arm across his face. Wipes some of that sweat off as it heats up. 2-0 pitch. Down in the dirt with a fastball. It gets away from the catcher, Sheeler, and over to third goes Schiavone on the wild pitch. And for Thompson, it really has a Kenley Jansen feel to the way he works. Slow, deliberate, and then what really does it, 3-0. It's the fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Is when he's ready to come set, he holds the glove up above his head and then lifts it to about shoulder high, just like Kenley Jansen does. So he does that now. 3-1. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Sheeler on a fastball upstairs. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But like Jansen, in no hurry. Works at his own pace. 3-2. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. It's a strikeout for Williams, and there's 2 away.
Number 13, Connor Rasmussen.
Well, you go back-to-back fastballs before that final breaking ball there. It gears Williams up for another fastball there. And, of course, we talked about Thompson and the breaking ball. You've seen it so far today. He utilizes it a lot.
So the pitch inside. It skips past the catcher, Sheeler, but it hits Rasmussen on the foot. Second hit by pitch in the inning, but it prevents the run from scoring. Schiavone heads back to third, and over to first goes Connor Rasmussen. So Jacob Orr to the plate with 2 down and runners at the corners. And a throw over to first, and just a pump fake as Thompson holds on to the baseball. First pitch. Fastball, just outside. A ball and no strikes. One 0. Runner on the move. And no throw from the catcher, Sheeler. Over to second goes Rasmussen. And they're at second and third with 2 down. They count 2 balls and no strikes to Jacob Orr. Pitch home. Orr hits a little bloop. Down the right field line. Back goes the first baseman, Lee, but it lands foul. In no man's land down the first base line, and Giants lucky that thing went foul.
I'm glad it did. We don't have a camera shot down there. So not only is it no man's land on the field, it's no man's land for our cameras as well.
Orr looking to bring in a pair of runs in the 6-1 lead for the Big Train. Thompson ready, 2-1 pitch. Orr line drive down the left field line. It's a fair ball and into the corner. In to score Schiavone. Rasmussen right behind him. Orr streaks into second with a double. The throw from the left fielder Marcelo is late, and the Big Train make it 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, it's just another fastball. Really, it's Travis Thompson going with the 2-pitch mix, the curveball and the fastball right now. And unfortunately for him, fortunately for the Big Train, he's not commanding either pitch very well. And he's starting to have to attack these hitters with fastballs, with that breaking ball. He's not throwing it real well.
Carter Cunningham to the plate, and he takes a first pitch curveball in the outside corner. No balls and a strike. 8-1 the Big Train lead. They have scored multiple runs in each of the last 3 innings. 0-1 pitch. Skips in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike with the breaking ball. So the Big Train finally getting to the Giants pitching staff. Still looking for more. Orr dances off a second, 1-1 to Cunningham. Just inside with a fastball, 2-1 the count.
You want to get Cunningham out here. You got Hurd on deck, who's got 4 RBIs so far in this game, and you don't want him up with another 2 out there.
2-1 pitch, and Cunningham fouls it straight back. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thompson trying to finish the inning off after allowing 2 runs. A 2-2 pitch. Fastball well high. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So here's the full count offering. 3-2 pitch, curveball, and Cunningham just gets a piece of it and fouls it off to the left side and out of play. Stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. Thompson resets on the mound. Here's the 3-2. Cunningham ropes one foul down the right field line and out of play. Just early on the breaking ball.
Yeah, not sure. Thompson will go back there again. Curveball. It's either bouncing in the dirt right now or it's staying up in the zone.
Three-two. And Cunningham fouls it straight back, and the battle continues.
There's the fastball. I think he needs to try to locate it on that part of the zone. If he can get it on the corner, get it high enough and outside, and Cunningham puts it in play, he should end up just flying out towards left field.
The 3-2 again. Up and away, ball 4, and it's a 2-out walk for Carter Cunningham, and it brings Jeffrey Hurd to the plate. And that looks like it might be the end of the day for Travis Thompson. And that is the end of his day. We'll take a break. Be right back. Big Train lead it 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field for the bottom of the 7th. 8-1 the Big Train lead with 2 outs. And Jeffrey Hurd coming to the plate. Runners at first and second, or at second, the 2 RBI double. Cunningham at first after the walk. Jackson Bauer, the new pitcher, making his 4th appearance out of the bullpen. 6 2/3 innings. 2.70 ERA. And now we have the Giants coaching staff
This is interesting.
out of the dugout. Looks like they were maybe grabbing something. Maybe an iPhone? You're not allowed to have your phone.
Right.
As we all learned, was it last year when the Diamondbacks player had a pop?
I thought no, it was the Pirates player
Pirates
in Arizona.
in
Slid and it fell out of his pocket.
Got suspended. First pitch to Hurd. Line drive into right field, a base hit. Or around third. Here comes the throw from the right fielder, Knapp. It's cut off. It's another RBI knock for Jeffrey Hurd. It's 9-1 Big Train in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, 5 RBIs now for Hurd. He's starting to hit lefties better. I don't know if you've noticed it. I'm sure you have, though. I mean, through the first, say, 6 or 7 games, Hurd not hitting the ball well against lefties. All of a sudden, he's figuring it out.
And heating back up over the previous 4 games, 3 for 16. Today, he's 3 for 4. As the pitch to Ruffner. Hard shot to the shortstop, Wilson. What a pick at short. And he flips to second to end the inning. Josh Wilson saves more damage, but damage done already. 3 runs in for the Big Train, and they lead it 9-1 as we head to the 8th on the Big Train Baseball Network. Evan Marcinko, the new pitcher for the Big Train, trying to likely take us the rest of the way in this first game. The lefty comes in with a 1.68 ERA in 3 games, 5 1/3 innings. Last game against the Aces 10 days ago, pitched an inning, 3 strikeouts to get the save, or to not get the save, but finish the game off against the Aces in Alexandria in his second year with the Big Train.
If you remember that game, he kind of struggled with the command out of the gate, but then struck out the side after the first 2 reached. Was a part of that 17 strikeout performance against the Aces. He was responsible for 3 of them.
Has pitched multiple innings twice so far this summer. And barring some unforeseen circumstances, you'll imagine that he will be pitching the 8th and the 9th. It's Knapp, Lieb, and Steen due up for the Giants.
Number 32, Alex.
So here comes Alex Knapp. George Mason product. First pitch from Marcinko and a slow roller to the right side. Williams, the second baseman, races in. Throws on the run across his body in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Love that. And you're going to see a lot of fastballs from Marcinko. That's all he threw against the Aces, and that's pretty much all he's done all season. That fastball velocity way up there.
So Noah Lieb to the plate. A lefty in this all southpaw battle. Big Train 5 outs away from victory. Here in game 1 of 2 this Sunday afternoon. The first pitch outside with a fastball, ball and no strikes. Again, first pitch for game 2 will be at either 1:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. And we'll have it right here for you on the Big Train Baseball Network. 1-0. Slow roller to the right side again. This time it's at the first baseman, Schiavone, and he takes it to the bag himself for out number 2.
I like seeing Marcinko pitch well enough to where he can get contact, but it just being rolling over to like second or first or stuff like that. That fastball is one of the toughest to hit. I wouldn't just say on the team, but maybe in the league.
It's a pitch to Steen up and away with a fastball, ball and no strikes. We've seen the strikeout stuff, but certainly can do it without striking guys out as well. Against the Grays, he went 2 innings, didn't strike out anybody, but didn't allow a base runner. It's a swing and a miss. A fastball, a ball, and a strike. Crowd has quieted. 1-1. Pop up. Back and out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. Marcinko stares in for the sign. Still holding. Now he's ready. 1-2. And Steen just gets a piece and fouls it straight back. It stays a ball and 2 strikes. Marcinko set at the bell. 1-2. Just outside with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big Train trying to take game 1 of 2 in this doubleheader. Went 4-4 in doubleheaders last season. 2-2. Steen rolls one softly to the right side. It's the first baseman Schiavone with no help needed. Beats Steen to the bag, and the inning comes to an end. 3 soft ground outs gets us through the top of the 8th onto the bottom half. Big Train lead 9-1. To the bottom of the 8th, Jack Carrero leads things off. 9-1, Big Train in front, trying to round out this victory on Sunday afternoon. The first pitch home. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. If you've been with us since the start, you got a baseball before brunch. And it has turned into baseball at lunch. 0-1. Outside with the slider, ball and a strike. So if you go to brunch, Adam, question has to be asked.
Yes.
Do you order lunch food or do you order breakfast food?
I order lunch food. I'm not going to pay $25 for eggs.
Fair enough. What if you can get more of it than eggs, though? Think about that. 1-1. Called strike on the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes the count.
I'm a big burger guy. So a lot of times at diners or brunch restaurants, they will have burgers as kind of a lunch thing, and I will usually get a burger.
1-2. Slider skips in the dirt outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can't argue with that. Kind of depends on the day for me. I do love me some breakfast
Also
food.
does depend on the menu as well.
That's very true.
Don't have good options, then we're going to go with some breakfast.
2-2, just outside with the fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Did you try the Canalist hot dog egg, bacon, and cheese that they had?
I did not today, unfortunately. I should have. 3-2. And it's fouled back and out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. I might get a hot dog. Potentially.
Yes.
We still need to get him up in the booth. A little chat about Catalyst. Fantastic hot dogs. Highly recommend if you come to the ballpark. 3-2 and a fly ball into left center. Wilfredo Mendez Jr., the center fielder, into the gap, and it's Marcelo, the left fielder, who ends up making the catch after all.
Yeah, nearly had a collision out there. Yes, I have to figure out what I'm going to do, because I got to set up all my stuff and get the book ready. Not a lot of time. Again, it'll be 30 minutes or a 1:30 start, and we're already less than an hour from 1:30, and you'll just have to follow on our social media to see the actual time.
The first pitch to Schiavone in for a strike. We expect it to be 1:30, but it kind of depends on what time this game ends.
Yes.
Here's the 0-1. Schiavone ropes one into left center field. Back goes Mendez Jr. Looks up, it's off the base of the wall. In front of the scoreboard, Schiavone cruises around first and into second with a double. Second hit of the day and another loud piece of hitting for Jason Schiavone.
It's nice to see him finally start to find some outfield grass. We raved about his patient eye at the plate, leading the team in walks. Put 2 really good swings on a couple of baseballs today. That one, had it not been here, could have been out of here in a few other ballparks.
So Clay Wargo to the plate. Takes a pitch downstairs, a ball and no strikes. Big Train 3 outs away, but still at the plate from sealing this victory. Pitch in and the fastball outside, a ball and 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty set on the mound. 2-0, Wargo line drive over the head of the first baseman, Lieben into right field. Schiavone gets the green light. Here comes the throw from Knapp. The tag applied, not in time. Safe is the call, and Schiavone is in to score on the RBI single from Clay Wargo.
And speaking of hitters finally finding some outfield grass, Clay Wargo, man, did he need that. Good RBI single to the opposite field, and a great slide by Schiavone. That tag applied too high on him, and the feet getting in below.
A line drive, and Schiavone had to hold for just a second to make sure it got over the head of the first baseman, Lieb. Once it did, he was around to score. Williams at the plate, and the leadoff man loops one into center field. A leaping grab from the second baseman, Steen, to make the catch, and then he has Wargo off the bag and his throw back to first in time for a double play. Steen leaps to the sky to rob Williams of a hit, and the inning comes to an end just like that. And so does Dixon Williams' 9-game hit streak. On to the 9th. It's 10-1 Big Train. Three outs away from victory are the Big Train in the top of the 9th. Andrew Marcello to lead things off, and Evan Marcinko back to the mound for the Big Train. Marcello 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Marcinko stares in. Big Train. First pitch just outside, a ball and no strikes. Big Train beat the Giants on Monday. That's the last game they played in, with 4 rainouts and a day off in between. 1-0. Line drive right back off the screen. It's a ball and a strike.
Well, that last one, we should have been able to play in Silver Spring yesterday against the T-Bolts. It's just the field was a
in
mess,
condition.
not good condition, and it was another cancellation.
Every other team in the league played a game yesterday. 1-1. Foul tip behind the plate, and Marcelo down 1-2. The Giants ended their 4-game losing streak to the Grays in D.C. 4-2 the final in that one. Here's a 1-2 pitch. High fastball taken upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marcinko set again. At the belt. Stares in. 2-2. Fastball just misses low and away, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marcelo has made him work. Three-two. Swing and a miss at the fastball. It's a strikeout for Marcinko, and there's one away in the top of the 9th.
Marcelo got a little piece of that one, but went right into the mitt. Nicely done by Wargo to hold on to that one.
So Jesse Lacefield at the plate with one away and nobody on in the 9th. Pitch in. Fastball called a strike on the outer edge. 0-1. Josh Wilson in the top of the order stand on deck. 0-1 pitch. Slider well high. And one that Marcinko never had great command over. Even at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Just inside with a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Command has been a little shakier for Marcinko here in the top of the 9th, but still doing his thing. On the mound, 2-1. That's downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. It's the 3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk to Lacefield. Put a runner aboard in the 9th. 10-1 the Big Train lead, 2 outs away, and Josh Wilson back to the plate.
It may be down big, but if you can maybe, this is an opportunity for them to maybe build some momentum here. If they can rally a little bit, even if they don't come back from 9 runs down, if they can put together a good inning, get some runs, then you hope that maybe you can carry over to the first inning of game 2.
Just 45 minutes away from first pitch of game 2 as Wilson stands in and takes a fastball low and outside, a ball and no strikes. Double play ball could end it. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Another fastball, and the command is vanished from the left arm of Evan Marcinko.
Hope is maybe one of these will be put into play and they can get a double play here.
2-0. Upstairs, throw back to first, not in time. And behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. It's Evan Marcinko. Pitch home. Count was 2 balls and a strike. Now it's 3-1. Marcinko now back in a 3-ball count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looks like he took something off on that one. That one didn't look like a fastball. Did it look like a fastball to you?
Might have been a changeup.
Yeah.
Or a fastball they just took velocity off of. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Wilson. And the big train 1 out away.
Number 31, Wilfredo Mendez Jr.
And Wilfredo Mendez Jr. to the plate. Last chance for the Giants. First pitch home. Downstairs in the dirt with a fastball. 1-0 the count. Marcinko tells Schiavone not to even hold on Lacefield. Marcinko set at the belt. Lacefield not moving. 1-0, and
Ooh.
Mendez hits that fastball right off his foot. And he tosses the bat and hobbles back towards the dugout. Sounds like the bat is broken as well. And he hit that front foot. Has a shin guard with the toe or with the foot cover, but if it hits the toes, there's nothing covering that. So he gets a new bat. We all just wait a little bit longer. One pitch. Just outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. There's a swing and a miss at the 2-1. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away, and the big train 1 strike away.
Nice seeing them get back on track with 10 runs as well. Back to what we usually see from this team.
2-2. Swing and a miss. A strikeout ends it. And after 5 days away, the big train are back in the win column with a 10-1 win over the Giants at home in Game 1 of this doubleheader.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Of course, the offense got out to a slow start through the first 4 innings or so, but really picked it up. Scored 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 3 in the 7th, as well as 1 in the 8th. Jeffrey Hurd, of course, 5 RBI performance. To also go with a home run as well. He continues his reign of terror in the Cal Ripken League. But Max Martzoff, I mean, he's been outstanding these last 2 games against Gaithersburg, and I think he's really kind of been the X factor, in my opinion, for the big train in both those wins.
Well, Martzoff pitches brilliantly. Hurd has a big day, and the big train win at 10-1. We'll take a break. 1:30 first pitch for game number 2. Until then, for Adam Glover, I'm Eli Kleinman. See you soon.